Hi guys, and welcome to episode 4 of The Open Coast. This week's episode is titled Blank Canvas. Now for years, but over most of my adult life really, I had structure in my life. I had routine. That was part of who I was. Then one day, that routine went and I had to make choices. It's easy when you're in the army. Routine is what you do. You have structure. You know where you need to be, when you need to be there, what kit you need to have on. It's all there. All you're doing is carrying out orders. I'm not saying you don't make decisions in the army, because you do. But that structure of the routine is always with you. But when you leave the army and you don't have that routine, you have decisions to make. And them decisions can be a bit scary for people. Not knowing what the implications of your choices are. And this is what I struggled with when I first left the army. Along with my anger issues and my busy mind. These were things that I was struggling with. I got to a point where I had to get some help. And I don't mean asking for help. It was finding somebody to give me some kind of structure back in my life. That's when I found a mentor. When I found that mentor, that's when my life started to change. I started to work on my mindset. I remember him saying to me one day on one of the courses that we attended that you have a choice. You can either live with that victim mentality that you've got, or you can do something about it. And I decided to do something about it. We can all play the victim, but not everyone gets out of that mindset. You can choose. You can choose which way you want to go. You can't be happy and sad at the same time. It's impossible. You can't have opposite emotions happening to you all at once. So you get to decide which one do you want to be. For me, I didn't want to be that victim anymore. I wanted to take control of my life. I wanted to take control of the person that I was. I wanted to take control of the direction I wanted my life to go. And that's what I did. After I discovered the mindset side of life, now don't get me wrong, mindset wasn't something new to me, but this particular style of mindset was. You know, we've all been in situations where you will train your mind to cope with a certain situation. It could be a challenge that you're coming up, or if you're in the army, it could be getting ready to go on operational tours, whatever. But this one was different. And I remember a few days after completing that training, I was back on the beach doing what I did, having a little walk. My thoughts were calming down, and I realised I started to look at things differently. There's a quote that Wayne Dyer says, and it goes like this: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm a great believer in that. After that training, my mindset did change. I started to look for the positives in life. I was no longer that victim. I knew I could choose to be happier, to take control. And when I was walking on the beach, it started off as a blank canvas, a big blank canvas. And in front of me, with that open space, it allowed me to be creative and start to think how I wanted to live my life. And I started to live my life more positively, looking for the good in myself, looking for the good in those around me, looking for the good in the area I lived. Though not everyone, but a lot of people slag this area off where I live, but to me, it's home. And I love the beach. I love the area we live. Part of the North Yorkshire coastline, 15-minute drive to the North Yorkshire Moors, and the forever changing landscape that we have right on our doorstep. These are things I never used to see, really. Even though I'd walk the beach, I never used to see these things. But when I changed my mindset, I started noticing small things. The colours, the noise of the birds, the noise of the waves, the colours of the sand, the colours of the sea, the colours of the sky, the clouds. All these different things I started to notice. And that's when I started to take photographs of it. So I wanted people to see what I could see. It's as if something had been lifted, a big weight had been lifted off me and allowed me to breathe and allowed me to see all these things that were always there. I just didn't see them. That is why the Open Coast episode 4 is called The Blank Canvas, because that was my blank canvas. The blank canvas was the start of my new life. It was the start of me painting my own picture of how I wanted to be, and of how I wanted to see the world. And for that, I'll always be grateful. And gratitude becomes a big part of it as well. Because when you start seeing things like that, you are grateful. You're grateful that you are the person you have become or becoming. You're grateful for the life that you have. So my question to you is, if you had a blank canvas in front of you, what picture would you paint? What picture would you paint? What future would you give yourself? If you can imagine it, then you can do it. Remember that. Don't limit yourself. Think more positively. And be the person that you want to be. Apologies for being in the car today, but I've done the video twice on the beach and the wind is too strong. So I've come back to the car. So it's an important message I want to get across to you. Right guys, find your open space, Find your blank canvas. Paint your blank canvas. Imagine what life would be like. Find your open space and enjoy it. Until next time, thanks for listening, and bye for now.